Hi everybody, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen and I'm going to show you how to make a BUZZ LIGHTYEAR today. Alrighty, so Buzz, here's Buzz. I went online, as you know I do sometimes, and found a picture of him and Woody standing together, and I cut it out, printed it, cut it out, and then rolled out some white gum paste and then trimmed him out. So we've got a lovely silhouette. And Buzz is not hard to do at all, especially if you're making a flat here like I am. He's just basically white and purple and green and just fill in the details. That's all you got to do. Across the bottom of his boots, he's got purple stripes. I guess it's the soles or grips of his spacesuit. So I rolled out some purple, nice and thin, put it around the edge of his boot, trim the extra off on both sides, and then you have the bottom of his shoe. And, you know, because it's a good idea, do it to the other one too. And then once you do that, we're going to add the tips of his boots. They are a lime green kind of color. So I just rolled out the green, cut out kind of a little semicircle on the one side, a little wedge out of the other, and put it on. Anytime you're not sure of where things go or how it should fit, you can reference the picture you printed out, so it's not too hard. You can see there's stripes around the bottom of his calves, I guess, the calf part of his suit. And there's kind of a round hinge. So the one foot that's facing us, you see I put kind of a ball off to the side. This one is going in the middle. You can see the one side goes kind of straight across, the other side angles up with the center, the circle in the center. I'm using a swizzle straw I picked up somewhere along the way to make a little imprint of a circle there. And a little semicircle of purple right on the edge there to show the inside of his pant leg. He has two white kneecap protector looking things, so that's what those circles are. And then he also has kind of a recessed area where his hinge is in the back of his one knee, so that's why I'm pressing it down with that veining tool there. And then tucking in each side so it kind of comes out like a little semicircle sort of. I'm making a little groove there just to show where the edge of his leg is. I ended up cutting that leg off on the template, as you could see. And then again, I'm just piecemealing him together. I did a little green on his hand there. You can see I just cut out the hole that should be between his arm and his body. See that? Just like that. And yeah, just keep matching stuff up. It doesn't have to be perfect. I know there are videos out there and there are people out there who do just super amazing stuff. And, you know, that's really awesome. But it's not always realistic for the rest of the world. So, you know, again, if you can't make it exactly right, as long as you get the major details, it'll be fine. You know, I'm just tracing out more of the green from the printout I made, laying it over top where it needs to match up, that little bit of gray there because he has kind of a ball socket in his arms. A little bit of purple on the side of his chest coming down. And there's going to be another one on the other side too. That's what I'm doing here. I'm kind of matching up the size of it. Like I said again, you know, if you're ever unsure of how much detail you need to do, if it's too much details in something you're working on, what I do is I go online and I find fan art, because the fan art people always will repeat the same details that make the object represent what it is, if you can understand what I'm saying. There's going to be certain colors that repeat, certain details that repeat, other ones will be left out. So it's a really good way to just kind of find the clues that you need to really make your object look like what it's supposed to be without going crazy and killing yourself. All right, so still working on the details here, just more of the green. This is his belt. As you can see, I laid it out, trimmed it out. It's not exactly perfect, but once you add the little pressure marks into it, so he's got a little divot there that you saw I just did, and a little kind of pattern on the front. It comes down and then tucks in toward that center edge, because you can see I cut a little wedge out, a little nip there. So yeah, just add the little details to it. And this is after I'm saying don't sweat the details. So I put the arm on there too in order to see where his hand comes in, because the one hand goes behind his body a bit, And the hand with the paper there, that one comes in front of the body. So the purple little piece there is the edge of his knuckles on his gloves that he wears. The other hand, you can't really see it because it's going behind him. Measuring out the green here on his hand, as you can see. Get a piece that fits, stick it on in there. There you go. You got gloves on your Buzz Lightyear. And yeah, I don't know. My kids outgrew Buzz Lightyear and Toy Story, so I haven't seen the new one. It started when I was younger, back in what, 94 I think it was? And then my kids went through the phase, and then they got the toys, and then I saw the toys that we gave away and they didn't want any more, or like worth $1 million now, or collectibles or something, and then, that made me sad in my heart, but whatever. So now we're doing it again for the new generation. So yeah, the white piece there is another ball socket. You can see it's partly white, or excuse me, gray. Geez, I don't even know my colors anymore. And a little bit of black as well. So the gray circle, you can see I stuck in his arm, but I left room for the black. Using my circle cutters, just cut out a wedge of black. It ended up being too skinny, so I smushed it out real good and made it fill in. And yeah, my circle straw again to make a little circle there. This is the little laser light he has on his arm. That does absolutely nothing. One of the times that helped him realize he was just a toy. Very existential crisis-y. The little red button up top. I think that one made his wings pop out or something. No, that was on his chest. I don't know what that one's for, but it looks good. Okay, this is going to be his core. I don't know what you call this thing. The springy part in the center of his body that helps him move. It's black, rolled out nice and thin, and I just cut around the edge of it because like I said, when I cut these things out, when I make my templates, I end up cutting them into little bits. Anytime I need a piece, I just cut it up. You can always print another one if you need to. But yeah, I placed it right inside there, right on top of his belt. Adding some of the red buttons, more details like that. The red switch, he's got those 3 on his chest, the green, and then next to it's going to be a blue. So yeah, you got that there. And now we're going to work on his face. His face is just, flesh colored, of course. And rolled out some thin peachy color, stuck it on there. Again, cutting the heck out of my template there. The purple goes around him for his hood or cowl. I don't know what you call this thing. So it didn't quite fit, but just wrap it around and it'll be fine. Just make sure when you do, you tuck in by the neck. So it's got that little divot going in there. And by his ears, it kind of comes out too. He does have kind of a circly area for his ears. I put marks where the eyes would be. I put the face on top, as you just saw, and then pressed little dots in the center where his pupils will go, so I know where to put his eyes. Some little white balls of gum paste pressed down, made his eyeballs. And then we're going to add his pupils. They're just dots of blue. He has nice blue eyes. And then you're going to add a little black dot for the pupil. I used my food coloring marker, use gum paste, whatever you need to do. Just you do you, boo. Okay, now we're adding the final details to him, and we're just drawing stuff in now. You can see on his hand, on his hip there, I just traced around it to make it stand out a little bit. Same on the other hand there. His legs are plastic, and they have a seam going down them, so that's what I'm trying to represent with the leg that I drew that's facing us. And I'm putting some ridges, some little lines on the grips of his soles of his shoes. You can see I traced out the hinge on the back of the one knee that's cocked to the side there. I went around his hips a little bit. I did his stomach. You could see the little kind of curves there to make it look like he's hollow in the center. His eyebrows, be careful of. One is very up high and the other one is kind of down low because he's always got that very ready for action. His nose comes down as a straight line with a little triangle, a happy face, and don't forget the swirl on his chin. That detail is super important because he's got that cleft chin detail that needs to be in there. I very poorly traced out his hood there, or his chest piece. I made the little thing, whatever that is, around the red button on his arm. Again, traced out his other elbow. And this blue piece you see me cutting like home plate over there in the side is the light blue badge that goes on his chest piece. So I stuck that on there, kind of covered up some of the mess I made. That's the little panel that I drew on his arm there that flips open. That's just a sticker inside. I had another little ridge on his arm there. And now I'm just going to add a little bit more to the top of his green piece. You can't see, but I'm just kind of making lines and swirls because it's supposed to be a hinge there on either side. And then using the blue marker, draw a little bird on that blue home plate thing that you made. And there you go. You've got Buzz Lightyear. Let him dry and harden up, and he's good to go. You could probably make him stand, lay him down flat. Check out my other videos. I got more Toy Stories coming. I've got Buzz and clouds and details and stuff. Thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes. Please like and subscribe. And if you do make anything, send it to me. I'd love to see it. Thanks again. Bye.